Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Demanuel, and today I will be going over uh, my project here, my website. Um, Camper's Paradise was created and selected because I feel like people should know about some of the national parks that we have here in the United States. It provides great information for users. Um, I came up with the design in Adobe Illustrator. It's relatively simple. I just wanted a section for big content. I wanted the logo to float to the left, have everything centered for the most part. Um, Footer, I wanted to have extra stuff here. So this was basically my skeleton for creating the site. This was my rough draft on how I wanted it to look, essentially, before I actually started any code. So I went with a green theme because green fits the idea of nature. The logo I designed myself fits the theme of nature, and for the most part, the user indulges in the site. Um, Another thing I wanted with my site was I wanted this here to be able to scroll versus being one long page and then this at the bottom. So I ended up setting that. Um, I also used Lobster font, which is a very peaceful kind of font. It's cursive, and then I went ahead and used Roberto or Roboto for the most of the text because it's easy to read. This is the site how it came out. So over here I have some iframes. They essentially link into the National Park Service's alert pages. So this one's for the Yellowstone. Its current conditions. Essentially, if you scroll down, you get some live road maps. You can see construction zones, sleeping wildlife. Essentially, you can scroll through their whole page in this iframe. Same thing with Yosemite and the Grand Canyon. Here, I chose my homepage to essentially give you a brief glimpse into each and every article. So the Yellowstone page is essentially a summary of the first paragraph on the first page, and you click read more, it'll take you directly to the Yellowstone page. I chose this image because it kind of makes you want to go out there and see this yourself. All the images mostly want to make you want to go out there and experience the national parks for yourself. They're pretty deep. So this is the home page. You can go to the Yellowstone page, and it'll break down. So essentially, you have Welcome to Yellowstone National Park, a basic summary of what the park is and why it was created, who created it. You get a video that's on NPS's site that essentially allows you to kind of get a glimpse of what the user would experience at Yellowstone. I tried to find through their archives videos that showed basically what you would see while you were there. They also break down into fees and passes, so this will allow you, if you click here, it'll take you to the NPS website and it'll tell you the free days they have at Yellowstone. You can also, it also links to their the Your Pass Now website, which allows you to buy passes for Yellowstone. This essentially breaks down exactly what's on the NPS website, easy for a user to read. So essentially, if you're in a private non-commercial vehicle, you pay $35 to get in the park, and it's good for 7 days. Here's some exceptions that Yellowstone has on the passes in their parks. I took those from the NPS website. Here's some activities. I was browsing the web and found some interesting things that people have said, and it's been compiled into top experiences, essentially what would be fun. It breaks down, again, in activities to like scenic drive if you want to do a scenic drive, and it tells you essentially what would be the best place to go for a scenic drive. It tells you some of the best hikes. It tells you some of the flora, fauna, which is the flowers and animals there. So it kind of tells you what you're going to see there. Photo ops is just where the best shots would be taken of Yellowstone. And Yellowstone has a neat live campground thing on their page, so I embedded it into an iframe, and you can scroll through it, so you can see a lot of the campgrounds aren't full today. Essentially lets you go down, see how much everything costs. This is all on the NPS website. It's just embedded into the web page. This is some trails. So this essentially gives you a legend of the park, where some of the trails are. And in this iframe is a legend, again taken from the NPS website. You can see this image right here. This one is on the NPS webpage. And then one of the most special features about this site is going to be the bookmark links. So let's say I want to go to the Grand Canyon, but I only want to know about activities. What can I do at the Grand Canyon? You can click this, and it'll take you directly to the activities section on the page. So this one essentially hot links in. You can also scroll up. This image I chose because it's a great view of the canyon tops. A lot of people think it's just desert out there, but this kind of shows otherwise, that there is some green. Everything is cited, so if you wanted to see this picture, you could just click here and it'll open a new tab. Again, more information about the park, a good video explaining the Grand Canyon, fees and passes. Again, with activities, same thing. Scenic drives, best hikes, flora, fauna, photo ops, campgrounds. So this is some information on the South Rim, and versus taking all the information from this page and putting it on my page, I decided I would make it simple, put an iframe in there, and then the user can scroll through the iframe to see more information. Same thing with the north end of the park, since Grand Canyon is split into two sections. So again, the NPS website is actually the most useful, so I wanted to make sure I linked into it. Trails. This is a PDF of the trails in Grand Canyon. You can click that to be full screen, and it'll take up the full screen of the iframe. You can also print it. This is all linked through the NPS website too, so if you inspect it, these aren't hosted by me, they're embedded directly. These links, this link will show you sources for the images. So this is essentially all the images cited in the website. Yosemite, you can click through here and again scroll through to get the same amount of information as the other pages. again, campgrounds. There was quite a bit of information. So again, versus copying all this information, this table and such, I just decided to link it in an iframe. And same thing with the trails here. This is a live map on the NPS site that you can click, and it'll show you the topography of that area. And then this is kind of another PDF hosted on NPS, and it tells you how long the trails are. So it kind of gives you an idea of which trails are shorter, which ones are longer, where do you want to go see, and such like that. So here's actually the Yosemite one. The contact us page doesn't work. It's kind of just a broken link at the moment. I didn't want to build a contact page. Same thing with the sitemap. Normally, the sitemap would just contain a breakdown of the pages, so it'd just be a bunch of links in hierarchical order. So it'd be home, and then it'd be Yellowstone, Yosemite, and Grand Canyon underneath home as separate branches. I don't know if you've seen, but the logo spins. I did some CSS animation to make the user feel involved with the site, so it bounces back and forth a few times. Kind of get the ball rolling, essentially, is what I was thinking in my head with that. And this pretty much concludes the National Park website, Camper's Paradise. Thank you. Have a nice day.